Welcome back here with us on Urban Debate on Mirror Now. Viewers, there has been a drop in daily COVID count in Mumbai for fourth day in a row. In the last 24 hours, Mumbai has reported 11,647 COVID cases as compared to 20,971. That was the highest in the recent days on January 7th. Now, as per Dr. Shashank Joshi, who is member COVID-19 Task Force Maharashtra, these are encouraging signs, and he is in fact joining us live on Urban Debate this evening. Dr. Shashank Joshi, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Mirror Now. You know, I saw your tweet in the afternoon, and that's the reason we decided to have you on the show today, because what you had written about Mumbai Omicron flattening for sure, do not panic, was very encouraging. Can you explain to us why you feel that these are good signs, positive signs coming from Mumbai?
Thank you for having me. Initially, we thought that this was just a Sunday drop, but that's not true. We clearly are seeing that day after day, the number of test positivity rate, even if you don't go by actual number, the test positivity rate is flattening out, and it is declining from 30% just 3 days back. It is down to almost 18 or 19% today, which is very, very substantial. Second thing is that it could be a masked number. We may be at the peak right now, though the curve looks flatter, because people are at home, they are self-isolating without a test, or they are testing and not reporting. So that is a big possibility in the mask numbers. But nevertheless, if you talk to the general practitioners across the city of Mumbai, they will all say that the 2 weeks back and 1 week back, the tsunami of cases they got of flu-like syndrome, there is a definite decline in that number, which is happening. Of course, this is all anecdotal, but this is now being substantiated by translating it into numbers. The main thing in Omicron, and predominantly we know now in Mumbai there is Omicron because of the rapidity of doubling. We do have some amount of Delta. Clearly, the only challenge we have is it a lull before a storm, or is it that it is an epiphenomenon, or is it a true flattening? Let us look at the optimistic side that it could be a true flattening. And if you look at a true flattening, the hospital beds definitely are filling up. There is an occasional challenge to get a hospital bed, though a large proportion of hospital beds are still empty. The oxygen requirement is substantially less. If you compare this wave and the amount of oxygen required in the first wave and second wave, particularly in the second wave, there's a clear-cut drop. The people on ventilator are less, and predominantly now, the people who are hospitalized are either unvaccinated or have comorbidities or underlying diseases. So a lot of people are getting admitted with COVID. Very few are getting admitted with due to COVID, of course, but we have a small subset. I'm not denying that there is no some small subset. That is the number to follow. So as the pandemic and the third tsunami-like wave evolves, we will have to pursue numbers like mortality rate, we'll have to pursue ventilator rate, oxygen requiring rate, and hospitalization rate due to COVID and hospitalization with COVID. Those are going to be more crucial numbers than absolute numbers which we are looking at. Of course, the asymptomatic population, which is almost 80%, needs to be contained because they are the spreaders. And clearly some restrictions were put in place in the last couple of days as well. Whether that is the impact of that also, we have no idea. But it is early days and positive signs.
Early days, but positive signs. That's very, very important what you're telling us, Dr. Shashank Joshi. But like you've also mentioned, that a lot of people might be using the home kits to get themselves tested and might not really be reporting the results. For example, the Omicron variant that we have right now, it's causing milder symptoms. And now ICMR's recent advisory suggests that if somebody is the asymptomatic contact of a COVID positive patient, then that person, doesn't really need to get tested. So these people could be positive, but they are not getting tested. There are many who are getting tested at home. So do you think that probably we also need to analyze or somehow find out how many people are actually positive?
I don't think that is necessary because even in the first and second wave, when we look at the seropositivity data, we knew that a very large exposure had occurred to the population asymptomatically, and we never measured it. But one thing is definite, that this is a very rapidly transmitting virus. So there is a lot of community spread. So there is absolutely no need to panic. All we need to do is the symptomatic people and the high risk vulnerable groups need to be identified We should have zero COVID deaths. We should ensure that there are least number of people with severe disease. We save every life and we don't miss on that front. And we ensure that our vaccination program, COVID appropriate behavior and masking is done appropriately with air ventilation. That is the key right now. Because it is impossible to know, even in the second wave, a large population was exposed and they remained asymptomatic. In fact, even the pediatric population in the second wave was exposed and they remained asymptomatic. It was only when the sero surveys were done that we found that they had exposure. So this type of exposure can be there, and we do not want our healthcare system to be overwhelmed. So these signs, though they are early, the healthcare infrastructure of Mumbai city or Maharashtra state is fully ready. So the pandemic preparedness plan for the worst case scenario is
last question.
Sorry.
Okay, last question, Dr. Joshi, before we let you go. In South Africa as well, from where Omicron was detected first in November last year, we saw a sudden, spike in case count, the daily case count, and it sharply came down as well. Are you seeing some kind of a similarity in Mumbai?
Absolutely. In fact, I closely followed with Dr. Andrea as well as various Dr. Karim and various other specialists in South Africa. And what was seen in the Gauteng province and the Pretoria province there, similarly, South Africa pattern is being seen in Mumbai. Let us hope that it is true, because South Africa had only 3% of people hospitalized due to COVID, not with COVID. That number may be a little higher. And overall, their pandemic and their curve is seeming to be climbing down. While if you see the British pattern in United Kingdom, that was around 6% hospitalizations, and the virus is now showing signs of decline. So there is a little delayed decline, while the rapider decline was seen in the South Africa. And let us hope that if these numbers are real in Mumbai, and this trend week after week is seen over the next 2 weeks, according to me, this and next week for Mumbai and Maharashtra is a make and break week. And if this positive trend is seen over 2 weeks, then we can clearly say that definitely we are following a South African way.
All right, Dr. Shashank Joshi, thank you very much for joining us here on Mirror Now and helping us understand the numbers that we are getting from Mumbai. Encouraging signs, we can just say fingers crossed, and we can really hope that this trend continues, and we can just hope that the peak has been crossed already as far as Mumbai is concerned. But of course, we'll have to wait for the data to come over the next few days as well.